Hey there again, Techians. Welcome back to our tutorial. So I hope you were able to learn and enjoy the previous video, which was about if-else statement. That is a really useful function in any programming languages project, and especially in game development, since we are going to encounter or set up uh, conditions in our game. Well, anyway, for this video, I'll be teaching you how to use static instance, coroutines, scene management, and namespaces. What are the uses, or how can we manipulate functions just by changing or adding namespaces in our script or class. So first, let's have the static or static instance. If you can remember in the previous videos, I keep on saying that you can access variables function in a separate class. So you just have to declare that variable or function into public. But in order to do that, you are going to be writing code which is too long and too tedious. But thanks to statics or static instance, we can easily access any element in a separate script. However, there is a disadvantage of using too much static instance. Too much static instance or static class, static variables will consume up a memory. And memory in game development or in any application is very important. Um, Low memory, it will affect the device performance, or maybe the software performance or the application performance. Anyway, static instance, we will just be using it in our manager class. If you can remember on the glimpse of our game, we have there the UI or the score point and the life point. In order to change or have some code in that in just a single class and to access it depending on the condition that is being met or the function or methods that we are going to make. So we will input it in a manager class which is static. Everything that is about score, the life point, the scene management, or anything in the UI will be included in the game manager as one static. We won't be making a lot of static since I've said that static class or static variables consume or is not good for the computer or device's memory. Okay, let's start. So in order to do that, I have made two scripts. So for you to make a script, just go to your project panel and to your scripts and just select right click, select create and C# script. So I have made already a script, so we have the access. So let's just drag this in our scripts folder so that we are organized in our all objects in our project or in our project. So let's just wait for it to compile. Okay, there you have it, compiling. Okay, here we go. Okay, the case here, we are going to access a variable or a function in the script one through the access script. So let's head to our Visual Studio. Okay, then I'll record. Since I've transferred the script into another folder, it will not be read by the IDE. So I'm gonna reopen it. Okay, we have there the access. So everything here, we're going to make here a function and a variable, and we are going to access here in a class through static instance. So as I've said a while ago, that you can also access a script without doing any static instance, but it would be a tedious process. So I do recommend you to make a static instance, but not too much. Not too much, since static is not good for the device memory or the computer's memory. Okay, let's have here, for example, let's declare variable. Also, in order for it to be accessible, it should be declared public. So public, oh, double public, let's say integer type, and score. Okay, let's have score. Let's say in our game we're going to have some conditions that whenever this game object collides with other game object, the score will increment or increase. But in this example, we're just going to use again the print function in the console. So public int score, then let's have public float type move speed, then semicolon. Then we are going to declare here a function void print score, no, void score access. So we are going to access this function here in the access class or access script. So let's say we have here print score, simply score. Okay, let's have a value of move speed. So say for example, the player is being slowed down by the enemy. So as the move speed decreases, the score will be printed in the console. For the sake of the example, this score will be printed in the console, and we are going to access that here in the access script. So print score, I'm going to print score. We're going to call this function here. So in order for this class, this whole class, to be accessible in all scripts, we are going to make it a public and the word static, then the name of the class, which is script1, it should be the same, script1, then the word instance. Therefore, we're declaring here a public static class and making this as an instance. We are referring that this class will be an instance, and since it is static, it will be accessible to any script. And there's another thing that we are going to add. In the awake function, we are going to write instance equals this. So meaning, okay, instance, not instance, instance, meaning as the script or as the game starts, the void awake will be read, since I have said that in event function void awake is being read first before the start and the update. Okay, so in void awake, it will get instance. Which instance? This whole class. Every variable, function, or variables and function will be accessible and will be set as an instance. So let's head over to our access script, and we should be able to access all the functions and variables in the script1 class. So let's make here another function, void access script1. So we're going to, I guess I have mistyped, or yep, I knew it. If we want to access this function, we should declare it also as public. Public void, we're not returning anything, and score access. So as I've said a while ago, the situation will be if the player's move speed is being slowed down. So we're going to put a value here, maybe below than 5, or yep, less than 5. We're gonna put here less than 5. So if the move speed is less than 5, we'll print score. And since the function print score is inside this function, we are going to call this function. So to do that, so we have here void access script. So if let's use the conditional statement if, in order for you to access the script, this one, we're going to type script1 dot instance, the whole instance of script1 dot the name of the function if we're going to access the function. If we're going to access a variable, then we're going to write the name of the variable. But since we're going to access this, we're going to get score access, the name of that function. Script1 dot instance dot score. Oh no, I forgot. I'm sorry. The situation that we were making was if the player's movement speed is slowing down. So we are going to access not the function, but the what's this move speed. So if the name of the script and that instance, the static class script1 that instance dot what's the name of the variable again? Float move speed. There we have it. In the ID it's being suggested since it is accessible is less than or equal to 8. We are going to call score access. Oh, no. We're going to call, sorry. If we are going to call that function again, we're gonna write script1 dot instance dot dot score access. There we have it. So here we are calling first the variable, or we are accessing the variable from another script. Then we are calling again the score access. So we have said that if the move speed of the player is being slowed down, so let's say it's less than 8 when we're going to put a value 5, we are going to call the score access function. In order to call the score access function, you just have to write again the name of the instance of the class, which is the script1, then that instance, all of the instances inside the script1, and score access. Okay, let's hit the Ctrl S button, and we're going to script1 does not contain a definition for instance. Where is it? Oh, it's right. Script1 public static script1 instance is equals to this. I don't know why it's making. Oh, and we haven't saved here. Yep, so that's the error. I don't know, it just appearing, it should not appear as like that. I forgot to save. Okay, there we go. So in the circle where the script1 is attached, we're going to put a value of 4. So assumingly the player is being slowed down and his or her move speed is returning a value of 4. So expectedly it should print the score. Okay, don't know why it's not being printed. It should. Okay, since we didn't put any value in the score, we should put a value here, say 12, so it should print 12. It's not printing. It should be printing since we're accessing. Okay, I know. Okay. Okay. We didn't call the function. How can we call this function, or how can we make this function work if we're not going to call it? So we're going to copy the function name And let's just say, let's call it on the start function. Okay, so that's why it's not printing the score access. We're not calling the function. Okay, let's see here. So as you can see, in programming or game development, there will be a lot of errors that you will commit there, but those errors will be, of course, a transformation of your learning. So anyway, let's hit the button play. Expectedly, we should see the value of 12 here in the console. I know that there will be no error. I'm calling out already the function. There we go. Yo. So what we just did is we access this function from another class or another script. We're in here access, and in order for this to be accessible, easy accessible, we're just going to make this class as static and make it as an instance. Then in the void awake, we should call this instance, what instance? This itself. Then in order for you to call any function or variable, you just have to write first this class name or the static class name, since it is a static already, dot instance. That if you want to call the variable, then you can just type the name of the variable, and or if you want to access the name of the function, or the function itself, just type the name of the function. Let's have another example. Let's say we want to access the float. Oh no, not we already access the score. Let's say if script1 that instance that score is equal to 0, print lol. Okay, so if script.instance.score, we're accessing the variable from the script1 class, or from the static script1 class, and if the value is 0, so if that value is 0, it will print lol. So let's hit Ctrl S, and let's head back to our Unity. So since the value is 12, so expectedly it will not print lol. Excuse me, I just had my dinner. Okay, it didn't print the value of score since the value is, or it didn't print lol, so we just have written here lol because the value is 12. So if it's equal to 0, let's say 0, so it will print lol and the value 0. Yeah, there we have it, the 0 and the lol. Why 0 was printed? Because the condition here was met. If script1.instance moveSpeed is less than or equal to 8, 0 is less than or equal to 8, it will call the function score access here, wherein the score access has a function inside print the value of score. That's why we were able to see here the value of score, and since the score value is 0, this condition was also satisfied. Script1.instance is equal to 0, we're gonna print lol. And there we have it. So that's it for the static class. We will use that in our game manager, which will handle all our life point, power up number, and the score. So next, let us have coroutine.